We're super excited. We're hoping to meet some of these great candidates out there. Our hope is that we can reach as far out as we can go and just talk to some of these different folks. Maybe somebody is sitting in a city somewhere in the state of Texas and saying, you know what, I have the experience. I need a change. I want to get closer to the beach. I want to go see rocket launches from SpaceX. Come on down. Come to Los Fresnos. We'll welcome you here. We'll make you part of our family, and I'll invite you to my church and introduce you to my friends and family.
Hello and welcome to The Clear Voice, brought to you by Clear Career Professionals. I'm your host, James Groom. Today we are talking about the city manager opportunity in Los Fresnos, Texas. This PositionCast is designed to help prospective candidates better understand the community, the organization, the role, the city council's priorities, and the type of leader who can be successful in Los Fresnos. Today I'm joined by Kent Myers with Clear Career Professionals. Kent's the recruiter on this. He's a long-tenured city manager who is now retired. He brings direct experience leading local government organizations and helping communities identify the right executive leadership fit. Kent, welcome to the show.
James, I'm pleased to be with you. We're looking forward to introducing your audience to this new opportunity, and I think they'll be excited to hear all the positives about Los Fresnos.
Los Fresnos is in the area where you were last entering down there by Starbase, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I had an opportunity to come down in this area on a regular basis over the last 18 months, working for SpaceX for 6 months, and then the newly incorporated city of Starbase. And so I've seen a lot of positive changes already in the last 18 months. I think the mayor will get into that, but it's almost like the area is being transformed. A lot of that's being driven by SpaceX, but they also have a lot of other industry, LNG, and a lot of other industry coming in that's driving the economy. And there's just a lot of positive changes going throughout Cameron County. I'm just really excited to be able to offer this recruitment. We're looking for some great candidates for this position.
Well, that's great. I'm excited to hear more from the city of Los Fresnos. We have the mayor, Alejandro Flores. Mayor, thank you for being with us and welcome to The Clear Voice.
Thank you for having me.
Mayor, we're excited to hear more about this opportunity, and we always want to start with talking about you and your background outside of local government, how you got into local government, and what you think of Los Fresnos in general.
Okay, so I was born and raised in between Brownsville, Texas, and Los Fresnos, Texas. My mother's side of the family was from Los Fresnos. My dad was a police officer, detective, homicide in Brownsville. And Los Fresnos was always a special place as a kid growing up. And every weekend, it was a place to come visit grandma and have fun with the cousins and barbecue and all that good stuff. But as I got older, I kind of realized that it was a place that I wanted to call home. I wanted to raise my family. And as soon as I graduated high school back in 1997, I decided to move to this area. I got married in 2007 to my wife, and we decided to raise our children here. I've been in banking for probably almost close to 20 years, but I'm in the financial service industry, so I do wealth management. I'm responsible for managing a lot of wealth in the bank. People trust in me and the decisions I make as a fiduciary. And so I find myself having conversations with clients about my hometown and all the great little businesses. One day during COVID, I was at the gym and, I ran into one of the council members who is no longer a council member, was an older gentleman. And he said, "Hey, man, you got so much love for Los Fresnos. Why don't you run?" This was at our local gym called Iron Asylum. I go home and I tell my wife, "Hey, you know what? I've been responsible for people's money all my life. What about the city where the biggest investment is our youth, right? Our children, our legacy?" I took it upon myself to ask my employer, and I got some clearance to go ahead and run. And I ran unopposed my first term, and first commitment I made was to bring in Whataburger because I always felt like as a kid, we needed those Whataburgers here in town, and was able to make do on that promise and went into my re-election campaign at 23. And I was a little nervous thinking, what are people going to think? Because it's a very small community. Everybody knows everybody. And I was pleased that I was almost at 70% on my second victory. I know people have a lot of trust and faith in me like they do at work. And so I want to continue to be a fiduciary of my community and work in the best interests of the town. And can't just mention with SpaceX being here in the area, we have a lot of people moving in here from different places all over the country. I'm excited about the opportunities, the new cultures that we could be getting from different places. It's one of those towns that think of it as a Hallmark commercial or a Hallmark movie. It's nice during the holidays. Everybody knows everybody. It's just a great overall city, and I'm excited for the potential to be able to bring in the right talent into Los Fresnos.
How would you say that your background in wealth management has helped you come into local government, especially knowing that finance is such an important piece of that?
I am licensed by the state of Texas, and so I had to do vigorous training and my degree in finance. The responsibility of knowing that clients count on me for their retirement needs, and they give me everything they have, everything they work 30, 40 years, and it kind of correlates to the city. We're poised to be responsible for the taxpayer dollar and making sure that we use it the right way, which is in the best interest. Again, going back to infrastructure and going back to, having a good quality of life. I mean, those are all things that people count on us to make good decisions. We got a good team. The council is ready to go. And, Mark has finally decided to retire. He thinks that this is a group that could make it happen. And so we are, excited. It correlates with work. My time is limited, though, because I get out of work and I come and run the city. Everybody tells me, how do you find time to do anything else? Sometimes you think, man, my day is real busy, but, I have good faith that God is showing me the direction I'm supposed to go in, and he's putting good people around me, and we're making it happen.
How would you describe your leadership style?
Very professional. Obviously, we all have our faults, but I think overall, I'm a very professional individual when it comes to my work ethic. My father, as a police officer for so many years, taught me the fundamentals of being responsible, having good ethical standards, good moral standards. So we can say a lot of different things, but, it's not what you say, it's what you do. I'm one of those that likes doers. I like things to get done. I like checking in. I like being able to mentor, being able to be there. I like development. I've been very successful in developing several different bankers, very successful in their career. And I think there's nothing different here. It's just now we're looking for those passionate people that can bring the results that we're looking for, but at the same time, in an environment that they feel welcomed and that we can work together. This is a team. Everybody here is a team, and that's what we all strive to be.
During your time serving Los Fresnos, what has been the thing that you most enjoyed about that?
I think getting to know a lot of different people. Not only that, I'm very active online. I'm a big advocate for health. I think I've transformed a lot. And so being able to inspire people and to lead people for living a healthier lifestyle. Not only that, I've had several younger folks come up to me at different places and thank me for everything I do. And I just feel like sometimes when I feel like I'm not making a difference, just knowing that there's people out there that are really inspired by the things that I'm doing. And I think that's what keeps me motivated. Not only that, got closer to God during my term. I was not a Christian person, but being a mayor has opened up a lot of different avenues for me, and I'm very grateful for it. But again, it's just inspiring those in the community has been one of the key things that has left an imprint in me.
How would you describe the city council and your vision for Los Fresnos?
The city council is pretty lockstep in identifying the potential that the city of Los Fresnos has and the vision of the growth that's coming in here. I think we all are very deeply involved in it. And so we all want this town to progress, but we want it to progress the right way. We don't want to have to go back and fix a mistake, making sure that we all plan accordingly. And we have a good planning and zoning department and a good business department as well that is helping us, Economical Development Corporation. We're all working in tandem together. And so we're trying to make sure that the business and this community aligns so that we can have a smooth growth trajectory in Los Fresnos.
And when you think about the candidate coming on board, what would good communication between the new city manager and council look like to you?
Just an open channel, like an open door policy. One thing that makes Los Fresnos very unique is that we pride ourselves on having an open door policy. I mean, there's several towns in the area that are a little larger, and it's hard to get in front of a city manager or a mayor. We want to continue that type of environment where people can come in and they can run into the mayor, they can run into the city manager, and they can have a conversation. They can be very transparent. Those are the things that I think make Los Fresnos very unique. And I think that continuing environment is what we're looking for, is just somebody who's an outgoing person, who's honest and is ready just to kind of answer those questions as community folks start to come in and ask questions.
What would you say in the first 60 to 90 days would make a successful candidate? Like, what would be the expectations in that very short, early onboarding process?
Well, first and foremost is making sure that they get their observations in, that they take a look at the different business structure that we have, identifying things that are working, the opportunities. I mean, I take that same approach in banking when you go into a new location. So it's just making sure that they go in there, they identify the processes and give recommendations to us and say, hey, you know what, this is working, or hey, there's an opportunity on this end where I think you guys can work, and give us a rationale as to what are the reasons why you believe in what you're saying. Once we start communicating like that, we can get a better understanding as to maybe a different direction we can go in. Not necessarily that the direction we've gone in with Mark has been bad. It's actually been excellent, but you never know. There's always room for opportunity. And with the growth that we're experiencing, having somebody who can come in and be able to bring some valuable feedback to us, to be able to kind of bring in some of these ideas that we were not thinking about as a smaller city, I think is going to be very vital to the success of Los Fresnos.
And when we talk about the organization itself, the city organization, tell us about the services that you guys offer and what's going on down there inside of the city itself.
Well, I mean, we got different services. We got our finance department who's responsible for all the financing that goes on in this town. Of course, we got our Community Development Corporation, our CDC, or we call it EDC. So that's a group of individuals who is out there being pro-business, seeing what we can do to kind of enhance the relationship between us and local business owners. We also have our Chamber of Commerce here, led by Mr. Val Champion. He has been leading that chamber department, again, introducing, bringing in new people to the chamber. We just hired a guy named Jeffrey who started with the Economical Development Corporation. Let me tell you, this young man is bringing a wealth of experience as far as not from the position itself, but just the love that he has, the ideas that he has. And we're bringing this community together. We have a lot of administration that happens. We've been recognized several times for great general accounting principles. So we're very glad that we have a really clean general accounting principle process. And so they're going to be coming in with a department that's firing on all cylinders. You know, everybody is a team player. They're going to be able to come in. And like I said, we're excited about some of these candidates that can bring in some really good ideas to streamline some of these roles. We are looking to bring in new roles as the city grows. And so this is where we can get some good feedback to see what opportunities we got to grow the city of Los Fresnos.
I don't know if you've had an opportunity to talk to some of the department heads about what they're hoping to see in their new leader. What communication style, what leadership style do you think would work really well down there?
One thing that Mark did very well was he was able to really get along with everybody from public works to our administration to our police department. We're very unique in that we have an emergency fire department, a volunteer fire department, emergency services. It's an indirect department, but it definitely plays a key role in us coming together. And not only that, but also the Department of the Education Department, our Los Fresnos CISD. I mean, we recently had our superintendent also retire. Working together with all departments, everybody is looking for somebody who is going to play ball together. They're going to come together. They're going to work it out. And there's going to be an open communication lines. And we can also, see each other at the football games just to get to know each other and relationship building. And I think that's really one of the key things that our departments are looking for, is just somebody who can come in and you're not afraid to go up, approachable. We need approachable individuals.
Let's talk about the community itself. When we talk about Los Fresnos, how many people live there? Are they working jobs there? Are they commuting? What's the general vibe of the community?
Well, let me tell you, we got about 8,400 residents. We are the second fastest growing city in the entire Rio Grande Valley, right behind Edinburgh. And so we're really excited about that. We got several subdivisions coming in. I think we have Valencia on Henderson Road, and we got Falcon's Landing, which is going to be a gated community surrounded by a moat. Average home there is going to be a very nice price home, but that's going to allow, some of our more affluent people to come into Los Fresnos and have an opportunity. There's so many different people that are coming in. We're seeing LNG. We're seeing a lot of folks from Corpus Christi and Houston coming in here and buying homes. And a lot of them are neighbors to me, and they're telling me that this is a first wave of people that are being hired. The town is just growing exponentially. And I predict that in the near future, this town is not going to be a small town anymore. We actually service about 50,000 people in this little community when you look at the people who visit Walmart or who visit Whataburger and where they're coming from. Highway 100 is a vital road that brings people into Los Fresnos because of Sao Padre Island. But I think that without the road, this town is just a wonderful town. It's busy. It's flourishing. Indirectly, we have Laureles just north of us, which is part of our community. And I would dare to say that Laureles is probably a little bigger than Los Fresnos. And so this is all one community that's in our ETJ. So at some point in the future, that could definitely play a big part in the growth of Los Fresnos in our city limit. So yeah, we're just super excited. And I guess that's what makes this position so nerve-wracking, is making sure that we get that perfect person, somebody who loves Los Fresnos, is willing to say, hey, I'm going to make this my home and I'm going to be a Falcon. My kids, hopefully can play football or go to school here with us,
You mentioned the schools and the relationship, how important that is. How are the schools? Obviously, somebody moving in the area would like to know what they can expect for their kids coming in with them.
I think we're the largest enrollment, and probably in most of this from San Antonio down, we're a 6A. So we're a 6A school. So it's a very large school. We have a CTE institution where kids can get enhanced learning. We just built a new fine arts department where kids can do more of the fine arts. The school district is probably the strength of this community. I would say that, and this is just the way it is now. People from all over, when they do their research, they'll see that the Los Fresnos School District is probably, I dare to say, the best school district in the state of Texas. I think that's what brings a lot of people to our community, is our wonderful school district, and the relationship that we have with them is probably the strongest it's ever been. We recently attended the event for the retirement party of our superintendent. The school board members and the city council, we're all pretty united here. We support each other, and that's, I think, what a good city needs, is a good partnership with your school partners. Yeah, this person's coming in. You're going to be pleasantly surprised at how wonderful of a community Los Fresnos is.
You didn't mention the football team. How's it doing?
Oh, let me tell you, we had this quarterback that was amazing. And it was his last year. We went into the playoffs, and I think we did a good run. I think every year Los Fresnos has a really strong football team, not only just football, but other sports. Like our baseball team has been very powerful. Our basketball team has been very good. The coach of the basketball team has been doing a wonderful job. I think every sport that we have, the swim team, let me tell you, the swim team, man, they got some swimmers that went all the way to state. So, we definitely have a good, well-rounded athletic department. Our athletic coordinator, David Cantu, was born and raised in Los Fresnos, and he decided to come back here. And so we're really proud that a lot of these folks that are going off and going to college or working, they're coming back to the community. Why? Because they love it. And Los Fresnos is all about community. So people coming in here got to know that, community, that's what this whole place is about. I'm really passionate about people coming back. I came back. I lived in Houston for a short time. I could have stayed up there and been a lot more successful. But you know what? God had a way to bring me back to Los Fresnos, and it's the best decision for me and my family. And, that's the kind of environment that Los Fresnos brings to you. It's just something in the air. When you drive into the city limit, you're like, man, this is a wonderful town. And I think that's what the city manager is going to see when they move into this town, the greatness that we have.
So well-qualified candidates with high school athletes, please apply for sure.
Right. Yeah, especially, right. He was starting for the varsity team. Bring him in here. Actually, one of my neighbors is from Corpus Christi, and he was telling me the other day when he was moving in, he's like, hey, Alex, my son played on varsity over there. Do you know who the coaches are? And I was already like on the side calling the athletic director. I was like, hey, Coach Cantu, guess what? There's a young man from Corpus Christi who started on the offensive line, and he's ready to play. So, we're all very passionate. As a mayor, I'm passionate to get to know the team, get to know the people in the community. And that's very important to all of us in the council, is one tight-knit community.
One of my favorite things about Texas is all the towns that have their local culture, their local events. What goes on in Los Fresnos that would be important for the city manager to know?
Well, I'll tell you what, one of our best events that we have is Conjunto. So if you've never heard of Conjunto is like a type of Spanish folklore, kind of a mix between Tejano and country. And we have an event in October that brings in folks from all over the state of Texas to come in and enjoy some of the best talents in Conjunto. Not only are we getting at that event other bands, but our Los Fresnos CISD has a wonderful Conjunto group. Some of these kids are probably like in kinder or first grade, and they're already playing the accordion and the guitar. And we've had several people come in here and do stories on them that are put out there in national articles. Being able to say that we have conjunto is a huge thing. Not only that, but the one that's been around forever has been the rodeo. So the Los Fresnos rodeo, it's the smallest, biggest rodeo in the state of Texas. It's a PRCA rodeo. And let me tell you, that rodeo group is phenomenal. The music that they bring in, they started bringing in musical entertainment on Thursdays now. So it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And of course, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I would say that rodeo is one of our most important events here in the city of Los Fresnos. We look to bring in these people to shop at the local restaurants, at the local businesses, and stay at a local hotel. You know, we have a really good hotel here in town. The rodeo, the conjunto, those are all great events. And now with the fine arts department going on, we're putting on plays and we're putting on all these musicals. So, you know, we have an opportunity to really expand on that. And the rodeo has been more aggressive in bringing in more events at the rodeo ground. So people have been inquiring more in the last couple of years. And so we're excited for the opportunities. Market days is also huge now. We have a market days every weekend now. We have different vendors out there. The town is just growing every single day. And don't be surprised when this new city manager comes in that there's going to be another event coming up. We're looking forward to all these great things that happen. Not only that, but 4th of July, Halloween, Christmas. We have some good events down at the park. That's something that we pride ourselves on as well. And a city manager like Mark, he would go out there, and that's what we would probably hope to expect is to mingle with the community and be out there and bring your family and enjoy some of the things that are out there in Los Fresnos.
Being a city manager is super stressful. If they have a bad week and they need to get away, you're just down the street from South Padre. And is that the best beach, or do you have a local recommendation that's better to go to?
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing I brag about because I work in McAllen as well. And one thing I tell people up there is like, man, I live 20 minutes from South Padre Island, and it's such a beautiful place. If you're having a stressful day, like sometimes I have pretty much in my day job, going down there to the island is just such a wonderful feeling. Not only just going to the island, but just going to Port Isabel and getting on one of those dolphin watches, you know, and just kind of clearing your head. You know, there's so much going on there and it's so close. I recommend, you know, stopping at Henrietta's. It's a new restaurant that just opened up. There's F&Bs, there's longboards. There's so many different places down there and it's so close. I mean, literally. It's a great spot to go hang out. The city manager's going to love the fact that they could just go down a couple of minutes and you're on the beach, you know. Hopefully the city manager that comes in has a boat, maybe a little bay boat that they can come in and do some fishing, a little shallow sport. And I'm sure they're going to love the fishing that goes on out here in this area.
Yeah, you've got the beach and fishing's covered. I think you even have hunting spots around you as well. So pretty much covers every aspect of outdoors, hiking, fishing, hunting, all those things.
Yeah, the Paloma. Paloma is really big here. They have Paloma. I forgot the day that it happens, but people like to go out there and shoot the Palomas. You know what the Paloma is?
I do not.
It's the dove. So we have dove season here and people go out here. It's a big thing out here in the outskirts of Los Fresnos, and people go out there and they hunt Paloma and they have a good time. There's a lot of different things going on here in Los Fresnos on the outskirts. It's you got the beach close by, then you got Bayview, which is kind of like a little foresty area that's kind of opens you up to like nature and stuff like that. So we have a good bird watching nature park as well, which is a huge plus in Los Fresnos. And, you know, you could go down to the beach, but you could just go right here around the block and go down to our nature park and walk that place. And you'll be surprised at all the beautiful birds that come into Los Fresnos at our nature park. It's a wonderful place. I would encourage any candidate when they come in, look for the nature park, take a walk out there.
I will be trying to come in October to check out, what'd you say they were again? The music festival?
We have
Conjuntos. Yeah, I'm going to try to come check that out one year.
Let me tell you, it's fun. The dancing that those people do is some of these guys wear these hats, like the cholo hats, the big ones, and they dress in those Stacey Adams and those baggy pants, and they're out there dancing. Such a good time. There's so many good people out there.
Your passion for the community is amazing and definitely makes me want to come check it out.
We'll be looking forward to you coming down here and checking it out, and I'll give you a personal tour around the area.
I'll keep you to that.
Let's do it.
Talk about the role coming in. What are some of the priorities for the new candidate? What are the things that are coming up that need to get done, and what should they be looking out for?
So there's a lot of infrastructure projects that we're currently working on. We're doing a lot of street repairs. We're doing some manhole repairs. We had some money from the state recently. They gave us a pretty big loan and grant, one of those zero interest loans and some of these grants. So, you know, making sure that we finish some of the infrastructure projects that we got going on. While we're doing our road repairs and infrastructure, we also got two major roads that are up for repair. We have Whipple Road, which is a road that a lot of people have been looking forward. It's a partnership that we have with the county. And so that road repair right now, it's currently in the process of the environmental studies because it's right by Arasaka. So we're working on that. And then we got the new two subdivisions going on in Henderson Road. So, a lot of the residents there are concerned about the road development and making sure that the plans are in order and accommodate to what the community there wants, but at the same time that warrants a good flow of traffic. And so, again, infrastructure is big. We have another big subdivision that we have a TERS agreement on FM 803 and 100, and that's called the Woods of Los Fresnos. It's expected to have about 700 new homes. The developer there, Mr. Rufino Garza, he's definitely working on that as well. The idea there is there's going to be about 15 acres in the front for commercials. Again, economical development is super big. We love the residential homes. We got a lot of those coming in, but we're looking more for some commercial development. Wendy's is coming in. They're currently in the process of building. And so we're looking forward to them coming in. There's a lot of other stuff that's coming in, but infrastructure seems to be the number one thing that we're working on right now as far as projects are concerned. Street repair, sidewalk.
It sounds like there's a lot of growth there, and that's an opportunity, and it can be a lot of challenges to go with that. Is there anything that they should know coming in, like they're going to have to figure out the answer to this question or that question that you haven't already talked about?
The budget's going to be extremely important, making sure that we're able to continue having a healthy budget and being able to accommodate all the needs that we want to do within our budget constraints. I think the challenge is that. I mean, it's been like that. People have been wanting new positions like a park rec director, assistant city manager at some point in the future if the city manager feels like he needs that support. The budget is being able to do what we can and still provide to those departments like our police department, our public works, being able to have new equipment. We just got a new contract for vehicles. So we have a lease program now where we're getting a lot of new vehicles and we're trading them in. And so that helps us a lot, reduce our maintenance costs. I would say for the new city manager coming in, making sure that they're able to continue to do the things they want to do for the community and balance the budget.
And of course, we talked a lot about the things that are coming in, and that would dictate the skills that somebody's going to have, the experience that they're going to have, and that's also in the brochure. But when you think about like the right kind of candidate coming in, their communication style, what you'd like to see from them, their fit, talk about that, the things that aren't necessarily easily written down in a brochure.
Yeah, I think more than anything, it's just having love for community. I think that to me, having passion, I think passion is something that not everybody has. I would hate to have somebody who just comes in and says 5 o'clock, hey, I'm on my way home, see you later, I'll turn off my phone. I think just passion for your community is one of the biggest things that I look for in making sure that we get the right candidate, but as well as having good leadership skills and being able to bring people together. In any city government and in any community, you're always going to have difference of opinions. And how can you bring those people together? And so those communication skills are going to be extremely important. Being able to think on the fly, being able to kind of come up with some ideas and instead of emotionally reacting, being able to react with a good way of expressing yourself. I think that's going to be really big because as you know, people are a little nervous and they're going to think, oh, is this person going to, what are they going to do or what are their intentions? And so we want to make sure that the person coming in has a good judge of character, can communicate very well and can control their emotions and make sure that they come in and say, hey, you know what, this is the plan. This is the way we're going to do it, and take charge, take ownership and follow up and check in your departments. Give us updates. I think that's what we really look for. But more than anything, like I said, passion for community, I think is one of the main drivers that I look for in a city manager. And I think I speak for the council as well on that.
Well, Kent, I'm going to turn the questions around to you. Tell us, after you've heard all this and you've gotten to visit down there and, of course, being close in the area at SpaceX, what's the most exciting thing about this opportunity?
Well, James, as you know, we'll have a lot of potential candidates that'll be listening and watching the podcast, trying to decide if they want to apply for the position. One of the things that I did last week is I spent 2 days meeting with city officials last week. I met with each individual council member, the mayor one-on-one, senior staff one-on-one. I toured the city. As you know, I do a lot of recruitments. But let me tell you some of the things that are unique about Los Fresnos that I think potential candidates need to consider. One is you have a city manager that's retiring after 21 and a half years with the city. So I think that's a very important item to recognize, the stability that has occurred. In addition, he's leaving the city in good shape. I think the mayor and council will agree with that. Financially, it's in good shape. Staff-wise, it's in good shape. So there's no real big problems or controversies that the new city manager will face. And so, again, that's pretty unique in today's world. In a lot of recruitments, there's a lot of political issues, there's a lot of financial issues, and Mark has left the city in good shape and created a lot of stability on that. Secondly, he has created a real good team of management employees. And again, I think the mayor and council all agree with that. From finance to the police chief to the library director, public works director, a lot of these individuals have been around and working for the city for a lot of years, and they're good people, very qualified, very experienced. Whoever's hired's got a good team to work with. Third, I will mention, and the mayor's pretty well covered this, is the growth opportunities. The city will definitely be growing over the next 5 to 10 years. So the new city manager has an opportunity to work hand in hand with the mayor and council to shape the community, basically, because the community will be changing. And one of the things that I heard repeatedly from the mayor and council is they want to see the city grow. They're all pro-growth, but they want to maintain that small town atmosphere. So you talk about a challenge. That's probably a challenge because Los Fresnos is going to be growing, and people enjoy talking to people at the grocery store and and going to Little League games and seeing all their friends. And they need to recognize that as the city grows, the city manager needs to make sure that it tries to retain that small town atmosphere. The mayor talked about community involvement. Mark has been very involved in the community, and the mayor and council were very specific that they want that new city manager to be involved also. Now they don't want necessarily a clone of Mark, but they want him or her to be very involved in the community. And as the mayor mentioned, be very passionate. They're not just being forced to be involved, but they want to be involved. They're inspired to be involved. And so I think that's a little bit unique about Los Fresnos and in some of the other cities I've recruited for. Even though Mark's done a good job and people said, hey, we want another Mark Milam, I want to make sure that the candidates understand that the mayor and council all indicated that they're open to new ideas. They're open to new approaches. Again, this is an opportunity after 21 and a half years to bring an influx of new ideas in the organization. And they're all receptive to that. Nobody said, hey, we want to be complacent. Nobody indicated that they wanted to just continue on the same path, but they want to see the city make positive changes and continue to look at new ideas and new opportunities. Another thing that's very unique, in the mayor's, again, covered this very well, is the quality of the school district. As candidates that have families out there are looking for areas to move for and have their kids attend a high-quality school system, this is it. I tell you, everywhere you go, people were touting all the positive about the school district. And one thing that's unique about this, and the mayor alluded to this, is the new city manager will be coming on board about the same time as the new school superintendent. And so that offers a lot of opportunities for collaboration and working together, the city and the school district. So again, that's, I think, an exciting opportunity, Mayor, and I think you'll agree with that. And finally, I want to mention that one of the things that's very clear there is there's a real trust between the mayor and city council and city staff, starting with the city manager, but all through the different departments. There's that trusting relationship that is very important for successful communities. The mayor and council trust Mark. They trust the police chief. There's this real good camaraderie that exists there that they want that to continue as a high priority. So I want to make sure potential candidates understand that. But it's a good opportunity. Did some time there over the last year and a half in Cameron County. The Los Fresnos is definitely a bright, shining star out there. And I would encourage potential candidates to look at this opportunity, review our job brochure, and seriously consider putting their name in the hat for city manager of Los Fresnos.
Well, Kent, you mentioned a lot of great things, but you didn't talk anything about the beach. So am I led to believe that you're not a beach goer?
Yeah, well, actually, I used to surf a lot in my younger days. A lot of great opportunity, beach. And so, I mean, there's just a lot of outdoor activities available there, school system, good restaurants, good shopping. You got Brownsville. Actually, Brownsville city limits is contiguous to Los Fresnos city limits. A lot of people don't realize that, but their boundaries are adjacent to each other. So as Brownsville grows, Los Fresnos is going to grow, and they complement each other. There's a lot of collaboration between the cities in that area. They work together, and I think, again, it's a lot of positives. I really can't think of too many negatives. And again, encourage candidates that take a serious look at this. Feel free to contact us if they have any questions. Just now kicking off the recruitment, so there's about 4 more weeks to apply, and hopefully we'll get a good response, and we'll offer the city council some quality candidates.
Interested candidates, how can they apply with us?
The ad is running in TML. That's the best way to access it. We're publicizing it on social media sites, ICMA, TCMA. So there's a lot of opportunities to go in and look at the job description and the job profile, and also instruct the candidates on how to apply.
We make it easy on them, don't we? Can't just resume and cover letter.
Yes, sir. City Council wants to move forward on this hiring process pretty quick, because Mark is ready to start spending time with his grandkids and move on. He's offered to stay another month or so during while we're going through this process, but we're moving forward pretty quick on this. The council's interested in making this hiring decision over the next probably 60 to 90 days.
And Kent, for the candidates that have never applied for a position through Clear Career Professionals, what sets us apart? What are the expectations that the candidate should have with us?
Well, one of the things that sets us apart is this podcast. There are not any recruiting firms I know that have this communication tool available to communicate to potential applicants, have the opportunity to meet the mayor and hear from the mayor. But so that's one thing that's very unique. The other is we stay in constant contact with all applicants. So if you put your resume in, say, this week, you'll hear from us every Friday with an update report. We have an individual with our companies assigned for that responsibility. So I know a lot of us have applied for jobs and you don't hear anything for a couple of months, and you're trying to decide, hey, do I need to move my family there, or whatever, what do I need to do? We keep our candidates continuously updated on where they stand in the process. So that's probably one of the things that not only do we have a customer service approach with the cities we represent, but also with the candidates that we represent. Those are probably the two of the most obvious aspects of our company versus others.
And one last question for you. Have we missed anything? Anything else to add? And if not, what is your final message to candidates that are looking at this?
Growth. Again, this position is going to be involved in a growing community. So we're looking for candidates that have experience managing growth communities. We have a comprehensive plan that's getting ready to be presented to the city council, so they'll have an opportunity to implement that, or help the city council and other city staff members implement that comprehensive plan. But this is a really growing, progressing community, and I wanted to mention that. I wanted the candidates to understand that there is a plan, there will be a plan in place to guide that growth.
Well, thank you, Kent. Mayor, did we miss anything? Anything else to add?
No, you know what? He talked about Little League. I didn't talk about Little League. And let me tell you, we are super proud of our Little League. We have one of the biggest Little League teams and groups here in Los Fresnos. And Los Fresnos is a big supporter of Little League. And so, whoever comes in, if they got kids, they're going to be surprised at all the fun stuff there is to do here in Los Fresnos. So, yeah, we're super excited. We're hoping to meet some of these great candidates out there. Our hope is that we can reach as far out as we can go and just talk to some of these different folks. Maybe somebody is sitting in a city somewhere in the state of Texas and saying, you know what, I have the experience. I need a change. I want to get closer to the beach. I want to go see rocket launches from SpaceX. Come on down. Come to Los Fresnos. We'll welcome you here. We'll make you part of our family, and I'll invite you to my church and introduce you to my friends and family.
Well, Mayor, it was great getting to know you, and your passion for your community comes out, and I super appreciate that. I am going to take you up one day on that offer for the private tours.
Not for church. I was already ready to take you to church.
Hey, I'll go to church too. It'll be fine.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Hey, Mayor, I want to thank you for offering a prayer during my time down there. That was one of the first times that's ever happened. He brought in his minister, and we had a prayer to start the whole process. So that was something to guide us as we proceed down the road.
Yes, we're deep-rooted in faith, and we let God take control. That's my motto.
Kent and Mayor, I really appreciate you guys being here. I think we've gotten some great information out to the candidates. For the candidates listening, it's an awesome chance to lead a very rapidly growing South Texas city with strong community identity, regional access, very respected schools, and very meaningful opportunities ahead. Candidates should review the full recruitment information and application instructions through the Clear Career Professionals website at clearcareerpro.com. Thank you for listening to The Clear Voice. Like and subscribe, and we will catch you next time.